Most Australians think retirement is one big finish line. You either make it or you don't. But that's not how it actually works. The truth is, retirement has levels, and the level you land on decides whether your final 20 or 30 years feel like true freedom or like a panic every single time a bill arrives. Let's walk through the 6 levels of wealth in retirement using real numbers from 2026. By the end, you will know exactly which level you are tracking toward and, more importantly, what it takes to climb up. Let's start at the bottom. Level 1 is survival mode. This is the retiree living almost entirely on the age pension. As of March 2026, the full age pension pays roughly $31,200 a year for a single person and around $47,000 a year for a couple. That's it. No investments and often renting. Here is the brutal part. ASFA's modest retirement standard, which only covers basic living, sits at about $35,000 for singles and $50,800 for couples. So Level 1 retirees are living below modest. Every power bill is a hard decision. Every trip to the grocery store is a calculation. Rent alone can swallow more than half of a single pension check in cities like Sydney, Melbourne, or Brisbane. This is why so many Level 1 retirees end up moving regional or moving in with family. What makes Level 1 so painful is that there is almost no way out once you are in it. By age 67, your earning years are behind you, your body isn't what it was, and the age pension simply wasn't designed to be a full income. It was designed to be a safety net. Level 2 is the modest retiree. This Aussie owns their own home, has somewhere between $100,000 and $300,000 in super, and tops up the pension just enough to hit that modest figure. They can run a basic car, eat at home, maybe take one short domestic trip a year. No overseas travel, no new kitchen, and no spoiling the grandkids the way they want to. The average Australian aged 60 to 64 sits on about $263,000 in super, which is solid Level 2 territory. But here's the kicker. The comfortable retirement target is $630,000 for a single. That's a massive gap. If you are in your 50s right now and you are sitting at Level 2, this is your wake-up call. You still have time, but the runway is shorter than you think. Level 3 is the comfortable retiree. ASFA says this needs around $54,800 a year for a single and $77,400 for a couple, funded by around $630,000 in super for singles and $730,000 for couples, plus a part-age pension. This is the Aussie who can run a decent car, take an overseas holiday every year or two, eat out occasionally, and handle a surprise medical bill without stress. Level 3 is what most people picture when they imagine a normal retirement. But here's what's wild. Less than 30% of Australians actually hit it. Most people retire below comfortable because they never built a system to convert their income into assets. They spent every raise instead of investing half of it. They ignored salary sacrificing because it sounded boring. And by the time they hit 60, the math simply ran out of time. Level 4 is the self-funded retiree. This is the Aussie who has enough invested that they don't need a single dollar from the age pension. We are talking roughly $1 million to $1.5 million in combined super and outside investments. This is enough to draw $70,000 to $90,000 a year without touching the principal too aggressively. At this level, you aren't budgeting for survival, you're budgeting for choice. You can buy a new car every 7 years instead of 15, take 2 overseas trips a year, and help the kids with a house deposit without derailing your own life. This level is where peace of mind kicks in. The cutoff for the part-age pension for a homeowner couple in 2026 is $1,185,000 in assets, so Level 4 begins where the government tap turns off and your own income tap takes over completely. Level 5 is financial independence. This is the Aussie with around $2 million to $3 million in investable assets, often a mix of super, an investment property or two, and shares outside super. They're pulling $100,000 to $150,000 a year, using a safe withdrawal approach, and the portfolio still grows. At this level, money stops being the question. The question becomes, what do I actually want to do with my time? Some Level 5 retirees keep working part-time because they enjoy it. They travel business class, renovate the home properly, and have a serious safety buffer for aged care. What separates Level 5 from Level 4 isn't just more money, it's optionality. You can take a bad investment year on the chin without changing your lifestyle, and you can gift money while you're still alive to watch your kids use it. Level 6 is generational wealth. This is the top tier. We're talking $5 million plus in net assets, often well beyond. These Aussies aren't just funding their retirement, they're building something that outlives them. They use trust structures, investment properties producing rental income, and share portfolios paying fully franked dividends, with a clear plan to pass wealth to children and grandchildren in a tax-effective way. At Level 6, the family changes trajectory. Your grandkids start life ahead of where you started. And the interesting thing is, most Level 6 Australians didn't get there from a massive salary. They got there from buying assets early, holding them for decades, and refusing to sell during the scary moments when everyone else panicked. Here's something most Australians figure out far too late. Climbing these levels isn't about chasing a bigger salary or finding the next hot stock. It comes down to 3 habits repeated for decades: starting before you feel ready, automating a real percentage of every pay into investments before lifestyle creep eats it, and staying invested through every recession, every property dip, and every loud headline telling you the sky is falling. The Australians who reach levels 4, 5, and 6 aren't smarter than everyone else, they just stopped interrupting the compounding. If you are in your 40s or 50s and you feel behind, the worst thing you can do is treat that feeling as a final verdict. It isn't. Take the imperfect step now, because the perfect plan you're waiting for isn't coming. Find out your current super balance. Compare it to the average for your age group. Then ask yourself the honest question: at my current trajectory, which level am I retiring into?